So ladies and gentlemen, SUMA members, I'd like to introduce to you our SUMA President, Mayor Debra Button.
Thank you very much, and thank you, Randy. Good morning, everyone. This is your official welcoming to SUMA Convention 2014. And I have to tell you, I am so excited to be here this morning addressing you for the first time as your SUMA President. It's wonderful to see so many elected officials and municipal staff taking time out of their busy schedules to come and join us here in Regina in what I know and you know is always, for some reason, the coldest week of the winter. In all of your faces, I see the theme of our convention, strength from many peoples. At this time of year, our many local governments come together under the SUMA banner to build relationships, cooperation, and a strong voice for urban Saskatchewan. Local government is a series of interwoven relationships, and we work best as allies rather than adversaries. Strength in numbers is what SUMA works best and what we work better as one. In fact, working together is one of the founding principles of our province. Saskatchewan is the wonderful place we all call home because people come together to make this province great. It seems as though growth in Saskatchewan has happened in cycles with a lot of things in common. The first cycle began when the first explorers and settlers arrived and began to build relationships with each other and our First Nations people. I'm sure we all can imagine what an unforgiving place Saskatchewan must have been at that time, but people came together to build communities here. Then, when the pioneering spirit really took hold in Saskatchewan, people were coming from Europe in droves, and they found community here, and they made that sense of belonging and relationships even stronger. From cooperatives and wheat pools to credit unions to barn raisings, coming together is what makes Saskatchewan great, and it's what Saskatchewan people do. And today we see that cycle of growth and welcome beginning. We see it beginning again. Now, instead of people coming to Saskatchewan from just Europe, they're coming from all over the world. Our province is more diverse than it's been, and people are choosing to make our province their new home, are almost always choosing a home in urban Saskatchewan. We all believe that our community is the best place to live, to work, to play. That's why we all live here. But it is together that we make Saskatchewan great. It's up to us to build welcoming communities for newcomers. Whether they are arriving from Bangladesh or Brampton, we need to reach back in the history of Saskatchewan and find that welcoming spirit that brought our ancestors here. And we need to make that sense of community and extend it beyond our borders, beyond the borders of each one of our own municipalities. We need to work with our neighbors, urban and rural. Cooperation was an essential part of our collective past and our collective good. Now it's up to each and every one of you here to help make it part of our collective future. I believe in this province and in all of the amazing things that we have to offer. That's why I do what I do. Working with SUMA is about working directly for more than 82% of our province's population. The relationships SUMA builds, maintains, and strengthens are to improve quality of life for that huge chunk of our province's people, for you, for your residents, and for all of those that we are welcoming to this prosperous part of the world. Over the last year, SUMA has been very busy. I think, truly, that I am still recovering from last year's convention, and yet here we are, again, ready to do it all again and bring that voice of urban Saskatchewan to the forefront. One of the many areas that have kept us busy is finding new ways to ensure that that voice is heard. That was part of why we asked for an increase in membership fees last convention, to enhance our advocacy efforts. When the board sat down this year to do our strategic planning, we decided one of the main focuses needed to be ensuring that you could see results from your additional funding. Combine that with wanting to boost our voice, and we came up with the tagline, "Amplify our voice." It's a phrase and it's a symbol that you're going to see a lot of over the next several years. Amplify Our Voice is about how SUMA is taking our advocacy efforts to the next level. We are amplifying our voice and our members through more research, stronger partnerships, and expanded communications. You've probably already noticed the connection between social media and Amplify Our Voice. I encourage all of you to like the new SUMA Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and engage with us, not just through convention, folks, but all year long. These are just the first steps of many towards stronger SUMA advocacy efforts that you will see emerge under the Amplify Our Voice. We are also expanding the services SUMA can offer to our members. Since our members passed a resolution last year asking us to investigate expanding the SUMA Advantage program and group purchasing, we are excited to tell you that SUMA Advantage now includes additional discounts for long-distance cellular and internet services. Plus, there's a plus, credit and debit card machines for our members who want to give residents the ability to pay with credit and debit cards. We're also developing group procurement projects, helping our members work together to use bulk purchasing so they can get the same quality of essential equipment at a lower cost. We will keep exploring these options, focusing on products that can see the biggest discounts through group purchasing and those that may not be readily available through your local vendors. One of our core functions is to represent members' interests through policy and advocacy work, working on critical issues such as growth and infrastructure. We continue to work with the provincial government on their growth agenda to ensure that there are programs, legislation, and tools to help urban municipalities manage growth in population and industry. And of course, we hear you. We hear you telling us how important it is for infrastructure funding in each one of your communities, whether you are replacing aging infrastructure, trying to build new, or seriously trying to do both. We are working closely with our provincial counterparts and the Federation of Canadian Municipalities to guide the rollout of the new federal programming for infrastructure funding. And we will keep pushing for workable programs to be in place quickly so municipalities in dire need of infrastructure funding can get the help they need. I would encourage all of our members to be prepared when the funding becomes available. Start planning now. If you're looking for a place to roll up your sleeves and to focus on the next steps for infrastructure planning, I encourage you to register for the second annual Saskatchewan Municipal Infrastructure Conference in Kindersley, April 15th and 16th. The conference will help you develop the rationale and skills you will need to address infrastructure deficits and move your community and your region forward. But infrastructure, as certainly we all know, is more than just about roads, sidewalks, and bridges. Waste disposal infrastructure and recycling has become a hot topic in the last year as the province has moved toward a new environmental code and a multi-material recycling program. I am very proud to say that SUMA successfully lobbied the provincial government to extend transitional periods in the new code, particularly for the landfills, so you can distribute the cost and effort of meeting the new code over a 5 or 10-year periods. We are following up with this victory with more research on landfills and the cost of transitioning to the new environmental requirements. This research should help you to make the changes once the code is proclaimed. SUMA has also been working closely with FCM on railway safety. The Lac-Mégantic disaster showed first responders, government officials, and the public what can happen when safety standards are lax, especially when transporting hazardous materials such as oil. Over the past 4 years, railway transportation of oil in Canada has increased 28,000%. 500 carloads in 2009 became 140,000 in 2013. Many of these carloads pass through our province, through our communities, and right by our homes. As a result of FCM's advocacy efforts and the federal government, we have reached an announcement for rail companies to disclose what they are carrying to emergency coordinators across the country. But my friends, this is just the beginning of railway safety advocacy. SUMA members tell us about trains speeding through their communities, blocking intersections that may be needed for emergency vehicles, as well as the state of the rail lines, and that's just to name a few. We will continue to work with FCM to make sure proper federal regulations are put in place, but we will also meet with the short line rail companies and the provincial government to ensure that all rail companies transporting dangerous goods are held to the same rigorous safety standards and inspections requirements. As municipal leaders, it is our job to ensure the safety of our communities, and SUMA will help to make sure that we can do just that. At our regional meetings this fall, we heard your concerns about bylaw and traffic safety enforcement in your communities. The RCMP is responsible for policing most of our members' communities, but the resources are often limited, as we know, and their mandate only includes enforcing bylaws directly related to public safety. You can hire bylaw safety officers, but these officers are unable to assist with enforcing provincial statutes, and it's hard to share them with one community and another. SUMA, SARM, the RCMP, and the Ministry of Justice have been working on a standardized special constable program based on the Alberta model of a community safety officer level 1. These special constables would be able to enforce municipal and provincial statutes, and they would be easily shared between municipalities, and they would be more affordable than the enhanced RCMP policing options. We hope the new program will be ready for you to be used this year. Thank you. We have also been consulting with the Ministry of Justice on their new proposal for fine revenue distribution. We know how frustrated many of you are with the system that's currently in place and the arbitrary distribution of funds. The Ministry's new proposal would see money go back to more municipalities instead of the lion's share going directly into the General Revenue Fund. The money would be shared proportionately to what municipalities pay for policing, and extending the benefit of the revenue from 108 to 450 urban municipalities. This issue is one of the many resolutions up for your consideration this year, and I would encourage all of you to attend the resolution session on Tuesday and help us focus our advocacy efforts for the next year. SUMA is a member-driven organization, and we draw our strength and our direction from you, our members. As an association, we unify our voices and amplify it as one. In the spirit of working together and building a better Saskatchewan through strong partnerships, please make the best of Convention 2014. Let's exhibit our strength for many peoples. Thank you, everyone, and God bless.